Hey guys, I hope you are having a great day. I hope that your week is going really well. I can't believe it's almost the weekend. I don't have anything exciting going on. I'm planning on doing taxes and cleaning this weekend, but those are things that do have to get done. So I am looking forward to having the time to actually do them. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. Today we are chatting about new makeup, and I'm really excited because there are a lot of things that caught my eye. Let me know what you guys think about these products, or if you're still on a low buy or a no buy, let me know how it's going because I would love to encourage you and hear how you're doing and just hear your thoughts. But let's jump into it and we'll start talking about the products. I'm having a really bad eyeliner day today, and because I'm like looking down for a lot of the video, I'm sure you'll be able to see it. My two liquid liner pens both started leaking and they got all over the place and I just couldn't salvage the winged liner. So I think I have to purchase a new one. So if you guys have a recommendation for me, I would love to hear which liquid liner pen is your favorite. Okay, let's start with the products that I'm planning on purchasing. There are three products that I'm pretty set on buying. The first one is the Anastasia Riviera eyeshadow palette. This is definitely going to be my palette purchase for March. I was just thinking through fairly recently which palette I was planning on grabbing during the month of March. I usually buy a palette at like the beginning of the month rather than waiting to see what's released, because if something's released in the middle of the month, I can always grab that for April. Anyways, this one's going to be available March 4th on the Anastasia website, and I believe I read March 7th at other retailers. So when I saw the outer packaging, I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect to see this palette. I think a lot of people were thinking it was going to be more of like a green and navy and gold palette, just based on like that nautical themed packaging. So the colorful shades definitely surprised me, but I think in a good way. And I think it's going to be so much fun to use with the Norvina palette. The Norvina palette is my favorite. I love it. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. Obviously, I'm just wearing like the neutral colors from it, but there are some pretty pinks, some pretty purples. I think the Norvina palette kind of lacks like that depth when it comes to colorful shades, so I love using it for more of like a light pastel pink or purple look, but I think combined with the Riviera palette, you're going to be able to create some really intense, like gorgeous, colorful looks, and I can't wait. What do you guys think? Are you into it? Are you disappointed by the fact that it's not more of like a navy and green and gold palette? I think that would have been amazing as well, but I think that this is different for them and I'm just excited to grab it. So that is definitely going to be my palette purchase for March. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer, which retails for $36. It is available now at Sephora, and I got so many tags on this. Like, I get occasional tags on Instagram. I'm not super active on Instagram, but my phone was just getting like so many notifications when this product was announced, because you guys know that I love the brand so much. I love the eye cream. And I don't know, it just makes my day when you guys think of me when a new product is released, because it just means like you know me, you watch my videos, so I love you guys. But I am definitely planning on grabbing this. I'm almost done with my Smashbox Primerizer, and I said that I was going to wait until I used up that one and my Fenty primer before purchasing another primer. I think once I use up my Smashbox Primerizer, I am going to grab this because the Fenty primer is very matte. The Smashbox primer is very hydrating, so I don't mind replacing one hydrating primer with another one, and this is something that I'm just so excited to grab. So it's supposed to be a vitamin C makeup primer for instant brightening and long-lasting glow. It claims to improve and extend makeup wear while blurring imperfections and hydrating. So it has a lot of claims. It almost sounds like it has skincare benefits, so it's supposed to kind of act as like a makeup primer and a moisturizer all in one. So I do love the Banana Bright eye cream. It's just very soft and beautiful on the eyes. It's very moisturizing without being incredibly heavy, but it still keeps your skin feeling hydrated throughout the day. So if the face primer is anything like that, I know I'm going to love it. Okay, the last product that I am planning on grabbing as well is also a moisturizing primer. I'm not going to grab this one right away because I'm trying not to buy too many products in each category. So I will buy it eventually, but I did want to mention it in today's video. It is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. It retails for $30 and it's available on March 8th. So like I said, I love moisturizing primers. I just want all of them. I think they're very beautiful on the skin. Everything goes on top really nicely. So I'm always curious to try out more of them. The interesting thing about this one is that it's supposed to be a hydrating primer, but it's also supposed to grip onto your makeup and make your makeup last throughout the day. And a lot of hydrating primers don't really claim to extend the wear of your makeup. They just claim to help your makeup apply really beautifully, which is what I typically go for. So the fact that it's supposed to hydrate your skin and create like an even, smooth texture while locking onto your foundation sounds really appealing to me. I don't know if it's going to work, but in theory, it sounds really great. So I'm definitely planning on trying it at some point. I think by the time that I get around to trying it, there will probably be reviews out online, so I might watch some of them before spending the money, but that really intrigues me because like I said, a lot of moisturizing primers don't claim to extend the wear of your foundation. So we will definitely see. It sounds really interesting. It looks really cool, so that one is on my list as well. Okay, let's move on to a couple of products that I might possibly purchase. So let's start with the Tutti Frutti collection from Too Faced. Now they already have an entire Tutti Frutti collection, which is an Ulta Beauty exclusive. I did do a full review on the line, so I'll link it in the description box below if you guys are interested, but they're actually extending the line. I was reading comments on the Trend Mood Instagram, and it looked like no one really liked the original Tutti Frutti line, and I really enjoyed the majority of it. There were a couple of products that I considered fails, but there are products that I use every day, like the banana setting powder. I love the blush duos, and I also really enjoy, what is the other? Oh, the eyeshadow palettes. I really like those as well. So I think there are a lot of good products in the Tutti Frutti collection. I think a lot of people overlooked it because, you know, the packaging might not appeal to everyone. Too Faced does release a lot of products, so you never know if they're going to be hit or miss. But anyways, they are expanding the line. So I'll put some pictures on the screen for you guys of the new products. There are a lot of products that are coming out. So there is like a face primer, a jelly highlighter, a setting powder, which might be interesting. There is a Hangover RX watermelon infused spray, and then like the Better Than Sex mascara in like the Tutti Frutti packaging. I don't know what I'll try, what I won't. There are a few interesting products, but I think I'll probably end up waiting until these products are available before I really look into them and decide what to grab. But I did like the line as a whole. I really did enjoy it. So I'm curious about some of these. The one product that I'm not going to buy is the eye and face palette. It's shaped like a watermelon, and I mean, it is cute. It looks like you can use the palettes together or separate them. The weird part is they have two eyeshadow palettes. They have the Razzle Dazzle Berry palette and the Sparkling Pineapple palette, and I love those. I think the formula is good. I think the layout is great. They're very sleek and compact. So I don't know why they didn't do the watermelon palette in that format. I think that would have been a lot better. The formula might be the same, but the packaging just doesn't appeal to me. I think it's going to be awkward and big and bulky, and I'm not really that drawn to the colors anyways. So because I'm being so picky about what palettes I purchased in 2019, I'm just going to knock that one off my list. I won't be buying it. Okay, so the other product that is on my possibly list is from Violet Voss. This just caught my eye this morning. It is the Sugar Crystals eyeshadow palette, which retails for $42, and it is available now at Sephora. At first, I was going to skip right over this, like as I was looking through new releases on Instagram, but then I saw swatches, and I think it looks more interesting swatched than it does in the photos. Like when you look at the palette in the photos, it looks like there is a row of really beautiful, colorful matte shadows, and then the shimmer shadows are a little bit underwhelming. But as I was reading about it on Sephora's website, it looks like some of the shades are duochromes, some of them are eyeshadow toppers, so even though they look slightly underwhelming in the pan, they could completely transform the eye look, especially with some of those bright matte shadows. So I am adding this one to my possibly list. I'm not going to buy it for March because I'm pretty set on the Riviera palette, but if I like watch some reviews, see some photos, additional swatches, I might be willing to grab it because it looks interesting. Like it kind of looks like there's a lot you could do with this palette. Anyways, let's finish up with the products that I'm going to pass on. There are 4 different products or collections. Let's start with the new ColourPop Zoella Brunch Date collection. So I guess reading through the comments online, there is some kind of controversy surrounding Zoella, apparently, which sounds weird to say, but maybe only because I haven't kept up with her throughout the years. I know who she is. Like, I know she used to make beauty videos. Back in the day, I used to watch like her and Fleur de Force and Tanya Burr, but I haven't watched their videos in a long time, so I don't know what she's up to these days. Apparently there's some controversy surrounding like her holiday calendar and then maybe the FTC. All of that aside, I thought I would still touch on the collection and share my thoughts on it, just like looking at the collection, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it as well. The eyeshadow palette retails for $18. It's really cute. Again, the packaging is adorable. I don't think that's the issue with the collection. For me, like if I take away the packaging, this entire palette is just very neutral, and I don't have an issue with a neutral palette. I mean, I love Anastasia's Sultry right now, and that one is a true neutral palette, but this one in particular doesn't really appeal to me. I think at this point I have enough neutral palettes that I don't necessarily need to keep buying them, and I just decluttered my eyeshadow palette collection. That video will be coming very soon, and I realized that a lot of my ColourPop palettes are very neutral, so I don't really think I need this one. It doesn't really appeal to me, honestly, so I'm just going to be skipping over that. And then there are a lot of other products in the collection. I'll put a picture for you guys on the screen, and again, it's available now, so of course you can check it out on ColourPop's website. But there's a highlighter, a blush, supernova shadows, cream gel liners, and then they're re-promoting some of their lippy pencils along with new ultra mattes in lip sets. A lot of the colors are very neutral, but I think a lot of people are going to buy this collection if they love Zoella or they're kind of into the packaging. I think the theme is really cute and really fun, but it's not enough for me to purchase the products just because I personally don't need them at this point. I'm waiting for ColourPop to drop more colorful palettes, especially like 9-pan palettes. Ever since they released the It's My Pleasure palette, I am so excited because I feel like they're going to do another one in like a different theme, maybe a green one, maybe a blue one. I don't know exactly, but I feel like that one had to have sold well because people have been asking for more color over and over. So I feel like there is more color on the way at some point this year, and I'm just waiting for it. I can't wait. So in the meantime, I'll be skipping over the Brunch Date collection. I can definitely appreciate that it's cute. I just personally don't need it. The next product that I'll be skipping on is the Morphe Dripping Bronze Eyeshadow Palette. So this is available now, and this palette's pretty. I mean, I'm going to say it definitely caught my eye. I didn't know it was Morphe at first, but as I was reading through the comments, a few people were saying if you take this palette and put it in like the original black Morphe packaging, it might lose its appeal a little bit, which I think might be true. But the promo photos that I saw on Instagram definitely made me stop scrolling and look at it. So I think that's the goal. I mean, it is really, really beautiful. If you like golden warm browns and bronzy tones, this is probably going to appeal to you. It is probably the most appealing Morphe palette that I've seen in a long time. A lot of their palettes don't catch my eye because I feel like a lot of them look very, very similar, but I think this one looks really pretty. I've said this before, I never reach for super large palettes. I think subconsciously I'm just like overwhelmed by them, and every single time I pull them out to use them, I don't know where to start. I don't know what type of eye look to do. The smaller the palette, the easier it is for me to create an eye look super quickly. But if I was planning on purchasing a Morphe palette anytime soon, this is the one that I would go with just because I think I would use a lot of the shades in here. I don't see a ton of mattes, so that might be something to consider if you are planning on purchasing that. That doesn't bother me. I am totally okay with like a mostly shimmer palette or an all shimmer palette because I'll just pair it with other palettes in my collection. But at the same time, I think if you like a lot of neutrals like that, you're going to probably want a lot of neutral mattes to kind of build the eye look up with. So for me, it's just going to be a pass, but I do think it's pretty. Okay, let's talk about the Beautyblender Primers. These are going to retail for $32. They will be available at Sephora in March. And I mentioned two primers that really caught my eye in the beginning of the video, but these Beautyblender Primers are something that don't really intrigue me, to be honest. So there are three different primers. The first one is the Selfie Shield Primer, which is a dry oil primer to protect and prep your skin for makeup. And then they have an Opal Essence Primer, which is more of like a hydration serum that's supposed to provide more of a dewy look. And then there is a Leveler Primer, which is supposed to like blur redness, large pores, imperfections. So I don't know why, but for some reason, I'm just not intrigued by Beautyblender's makeup. I think the Beauty Blender is a great tool and I do like it, but I am just not interested in trying any of their makeup. And I don't even think it's just the primers or the foundation. I think if they were to release anything, I wouldn't really be that intrigued by it. I feel like there's always something about like a brand that specializes in a certain type of product going into another market that's a little bit difficult. Like it's when skincare brands do makeup and makeup brands do skincare. Sometimes it's really successful and they do well, but sometimes I think It's just that they're so well known in their like niche market that when they try to venture out and do something else, it's confusing and it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's almost like they're diversifying their product line too much. And in Beautyblender's case, I mean, they only had the Beauty Blender, so I could see why they would be expanding into the makeup market, especially when it comes to face products that go along with their Beauty Blender. So you could apply the primers, the foundation with the Beauty Blender. I mean, it makes sense, but I don't know why it just doesn't appeal to me in the slightest for some reason. If something doesn't intrigue me, I don't try to force it because there are so many other primers on the market to try. I mean, I just talked about 2 in today's video. I know I've asked you guys this before and I always find the answers really interesting, but what brands don't appeal to you? There are brands out there that just don't appeal to everybody. And I think a lot of brands are targeting a certain demographic, so not every brand is going to appeal to every consumer, but I'm curious, like what brands are you just not interested in trying? Let me know what you guys think about these products or any of the other new releases because I would love to hear your thoughts, and I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye.